Welcome back to the Fit Postpartum Mom podcast. Today, I'm so excited to introduce to you Alisha Carlson, a non-diet lifestyle coach who's passionate about helping women transform their relationship with food, fitness, and themselves. Alisha uses a holistic approach to help her clients find food freedom, create balance in their busy lives, and thrive in every area without feeling deprived or restricted. She's worked with women who's tried every diet, struggled with yo-yo weight loss, or felt stuck and burnt out, and she empowers them to break free from that cycle. If you've ever felt overwhelmed trying to juggle it all, or if you're just ready to feel confident and strong and in control of what you're eating and what you're doing with your health, this conversation with Alisha is going to inspire you. Are you ready? Let's go. Are you finding it hard to keep up with the demands of motherhood because your energy is always low? Is your weak core holding you back from feeling strong and confident in your postpartum journey? Do you avoid looking in the mirror because you're not happy with what you see? Hey mama, welcome to the Fit Postpartum Mom podcast, where you'll learn how to reclaim your energy, strengthen your body after pregnancy, and finally say goodbye to the postpartum pooch in less time. Hi, I'm Dr. Jena, but you can call me Jena, and I'm a physical therapist, wife, and mom of 4 girls who has cracked the code on how to strengthen your core postpartum in the easiest and safest way possible. I too struggled with my postpartum fitness journey as a new mom, but now I'm stronger than ever, and I'm here to help you do the same without the stress, exhaustion, or struggle. If you're ready to fit fitness into your busy schedule while you navigate your postpartum journey and stay motivated along the way, then you're in the right place. It's all about progress, not perfection, and I'm here to help walk you through that journey to feeling strong, confident, and energized. That energy comes from within, not your coffee. Let's roll out that yoga mat, girl. It's time to do this. Hey mama friend, does this sound familiar? You're struggling to get up off the floor during tummy time with your baby and you are just dreading it. You don't even want to go down on the floor anymore. Nothing in your closet fits, and even when you try to dress up, you still don't feel like yourself. And at night, lying next to your husband, you can't shake the feeling of self-consciousness. It's hard, but you don't have to stay stuck. If you're ready to save time with my 10-minute workouts, finally get rid of the postpartum pooch and replace it with strong, confident core, then joining Postpartum Ab Rehab is your next step. This proven program is designed specifically for busy moms like you who want to feel strong, who want to lose the inches and reclaim their energy, all without spending hours working out, because this program only takes 10 minutes a day. Don't wait any longer to start your transformation. Your postpartum journey to feeling amazing in your own skin can begin right now, right here with Postpartum Ab Rehab. You can go to livecorestrong.com/program and get started with me right away. All right, are you ready to hear my amazing conversation with Alisha? Let's get right to it. Hey, Alisha, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I am doing so good. How are you doing,
I'm
Jena?
great. Thanks for being here. I want to know a little bit about yourself. I know you, but my audience doesn't know you. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, what kind of work you do, and what kind of clients you work with?
Yeah. So, first of all, thanks for having me. It's so good to be here. My name is Alisha Carlson. I live in Oregon. I've got 2 kids, a husband, a couple of dogs, and then my business. So, definitely have several different irons in the fire. In terms of the work that I do, I am a fitness, nutrition, and life coach for moms. I definitely specialize in working with busy moms, so working moms, a lot of moms that run their own business. So they know what it's like to juggle all the different things.
Yes, for sure. Okay, well, I have loved getting to know you over the past few months, and I have so many questions to ask you. So let's just start with postpartum life. Postpartum life can feel like survival mode. We all know that. So, how can moms make food choices that nourish their bodies and boost energy levels without overcomplicating things?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's interesting, obviously there are going to be some differences between the postpartum season of life to teenage life, but I think the one constant that kind of stays the same is that our time is no longer just our time. It's now kind of divvied up and divided into some other areas. But regardless of if you're a brand new mom or a seasoned mom, I think the advice would be the same in the sense of try to keep it really simple. Don't try to change everything at once. I really am a huge fan of focusing on predominantly whole foods or more minimally processed as that being kind of the foundation of your nutrition. Um, but especially like in that postpartum season, if you are nursing, especially, then your body is going to need a little bit more calorie intake than any other time of life. I think it's even more than during pregnancy. And so I think being really mindful, especially if you're nursing, but even if you're not nursing and you still have this new little life to take care of, it's making sure that you're feeding your body adequate amounts of food, a lot of fiber, a lot of protein, and really making that kind of the staple of your plate and making sure that you're eating enough. So I think that's a big thing I see, especially as moms are feeling like they're more ready to get into working out. Maybe they want to try to, shed some of that weight. I think that a lot of times the tendency is to eat less and exercise more. And really and truly, that is not going to be setting yourself up for any type of win or long term success. So,
Yeah, we're not cutting calories here. We're just making really smart food choices. Yes, for sure. Well, many moms struggle to find time or energy to exercise after having a baby. We just feel so exhausted. So, what advice do you have for easing back into movement that feels good for the body and for just the new lifestyle that they're in?
yeah, so I think, I mean, your listeners and your clients are going to be really in a great position for this because of the work that they've done with you and really priming their body for kind of increasing activity and movement. And so, of course, like always talk to your doctor, your physician, that little disclaimer, make sure that you really are ready to return back to activity and exercise in a more intense manner. But even still, I would say dial it up slowly. So again, like the tendency can be to like jump right back into the same intensity or the same type of workouts maybe you were doing before you got pregnant. And I know that there can be a lot of pressure to try to get our bodies back, like starting 6 weeks after we had a baby. And I just don't think that that's very healthy. I don't think that that's super realistic. And so I'm a big fan of going slow and steady and just slowly increasing the volume, increasing the intensity over time. That being said, I am a huge fan of weightlifting and getting stronger, really focusing on building lean muscle mass. That's going to be so helpful in so many different arenas. But one of the ways that's really going to benefit you is now being strong enough to carry your baby around, to lift the car seat, put the stroller in the back of the car, get that out, all those different types of activities. So strength training would definitely be like, if you were only going to pick one thing, I would probably prioritize that. And then a close second would be walking.
Yeah, definitely. I love strength training. My body was definitely built for strength training over cardio. So I'm all there with you when you said that. Yes, for sure. Well, postpartum moms often feel like there's never enough time for themselves. So, what are some simple systems or strategies that can help them carve out time to prioritize their health? I love systems and strategies. So, I'd love to hear what you like to do as well.
Yes, I am a huge system and routine type of a person. I think it really clicked for me when a couple of years ago, my husband was like, you're like the CEO of the family. And I think that really just gave me a different lens to view even my clients through is that, the reality is we do have a lot of different hats that we're wearing, a lot of different roles. We have a lot of different people and systems essentially that we are responsible for. And so I'm going to give a couple different strategies that I think can be really helpful. I think one, first and foremost, do not be afraid to lean on your tribe. So if you are lucky enough to live close to family, or if you have a great support system through your church or friends or something like that, do not be afraid to ask for help and to lean on them to get a break here or there. That doesn't make you a bad mom. I think that makes you really smart. If you're in a position where you can maybe do some childcare swapping, that can be a great way as well. So asking for help, that also goes with you asking for help from your husband and really letting them know like what you need help with, or that you're needing to carve out some time to take care of yourself. I think a lot of times we don't ever like fully voice what we're needing, or that this is what I want to do. This is something I really think would be good for me. And then we get frustrated, we get upset because we don't have the help that we want. And so I think a lot of times that just takes us stepping up and making those requests known, and then taking the follow-up steps to get that help so that we can create some space for us. I think along those lines, you also then might have to deal with some mom guilt that maybe you have, that you're, I don't know, shirking your responsibility, or you're somehow being a bad mom because you need a break, or you want to go and have some time to yourself. And so I think, just be aware of like whatever those little stories are that might be popping up, and just recognize that that's not true. And in fact, you're probably going to be a much better mom when you do take some time away for yourself to go work out, go have a pedicure, whatever that is. Just, don't be afraid to ask for that help. The second thing I would say is really take a look at how things are currently running in your home right now. Like, do you have a system for chores each week, or things that need to be done? Do you have a system for meal planning and meal prepping and getting the groceries? How's the laundry system looking? So whatever those little areas are, I think to really give yourself the gift of time. And maybe this is the first little date that you take yourself on, go to a nice coffee shop and just kind of brain dump everything that has to get done in your house, everything that, maybe feels like it's a little bit chaotic. And then start to ask, like, what types of things could I be doing to really set myself up for success here? I wish I could remember the exact statistic, but I recently heard it's something like 1 minute of planning saves you 10 minutes down the road. So
No
can you
way.
carve out like 30 minutes to plan your week, to plan your meals, to get the grocery list put in place, to save yourself, whatever the equivalent, I mean, I guess that ends up being like 300 minutes down the road. And I have certainly seen that when I do not give myself 20 to 30 minutes to just kind of map out the week and put my workouts into my calendar, get the meal plan, get the groceries picked up, and do some prep work on the weekend, the whole entire week feels like I'm just playing catch up. So I know sometimes it can feel really heavy and really daunting to plan, but I promise you, your future self will thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely. I always ask my husband for a block of time in the week, not necessarily every day, but in the week to just have some extra bathroom time, like to have a nice long shower, just to pamper myself a little bit, but tackle on maybe some planning time. Sit down with your planner and I don't know. I have a planner, and you're saying you do too, but having a planner and then having some spa time in your bathroom, just those two alone can really set you up for success for the whole week, for
And,
sure.
and I think we have to kind of reframe the way that we think about that. Like, instead of thinking about some of these things as like, oh, this is just one more thing I have to do, like, what if this is really a gift that you're giving yourself that's going to pay dividends throughout the rest of the week,
Mhm.
and then just compound over time? And so, I think that those things are huge. And shameless plug, I do have that, the Healthy Meals, Happy Family system. So if you are needing like a template or just something to give you some ideas and inspirations, then I have that system locked and loaded and ready to go.
Yeah, everybody go snag that. It is phenomenal. She went above and beyond with that. So definitely, we'll put the link in the show notes so you can grab that. Definitely a great asset for sure. All right. Well, a lot of moms feel super disconnected from their bodies after giving birth. So disconnected, like they just don't even recognize it. So how can they begin to rebuild a positive and accepting relationship with their postpartum body? What advice do you have for these moms?
Yeah, I mean, our bodies, I think from the time obviously that we start going through puberty until we go through menopause is just constantly changing. And I think one of the best gifts that we could give ourselves is just the grace and the understanding that that's normal and that that's bound to happen. I mentioned it earlier. There can be so much pressure to get back to your pre-baby body, and I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but I would just encourage somebody to really check the heart that is driving that desire or that need.
Mm.
I can't emphasize enough just the importance of grace and compassion and meeting yourself where you're at.
Yeah.
And, if you find that you really are struggling with what your body looks like as it has changed from, before getting pregnant to having a baby, I think sometimes instead of focusing so much on what the body looks like or the scale and what the number says, it's really giving some appreciation of what your body just did or what your body has allowed you to do. Even the ability to hold your baby, to take care of your child as your kids grow up, to be able to go on walks or take them on hikes or vacations or all of those things. I think it's thinking less about what it looks like and more about the life that it is allowing you to live. The other thing I think, and this is not something that I ever grew up with, but it's really addressing the relationship that you have to your body. So what are the thoughts, the innate thoughts that you have toward your body? How do you feel when you see it? And really just cultivating, I think, a more healthy way of talking and thinking about and treating your body is, again, going to be something that only continues to compound and give you yielding, like, long-term lasting results that will absolutely benefit you and bleed into every single area of your life.
Yeah, there's so much truth in what you just said. I love that. It's so good. And that's what you do a lot with your clients. You help them through those struggles that they're having. So that's so good. So good. Well, motherhood can be super overwhelming and it's easy to get stuck in negative thoughts. So, what mindset shifts do you recommend for moms who feel like they're just struggling to keep up? They just can't keep up. So, I know you have a lot of great advice around the mindset shift. So, what kind of advice do you have?
Yeah, I think we've touched on a few different ones kind of already throughout the episode. And just to reiterate, I think taking that grace based approach,
Mhm.
having the compassion, meeting yourself where you find you are in any given day, being able to release either other people's expectations or even some of the expectations that you might be placing on yourself. A lesson that I have really been given these past couple of years is just acceptance and surrender. So it's accepting where you're at today. It's kind of surrendering. For me, it's really been learning how to yield and surrender to the Lord and just wherever He has me in any given moment. And that is not easy because I tend to be very driven, very type A, like I want to take control of a situation. And that used to be how I approached my fitness and my body and all of that. And that was incredibly exhausting. And so I think, working with what you have and where you're at right now is a great first step. And then, focusing on doing little things and releasing perfection. So we don't have to do
Mhm.
things perfectly. It's looking at where you're at in a given season and deciding, like, what are your priorities right now and what do you really want to focus on? And then either finding ways to delegate the other things, to automate it, like, no shame whatsoever in ordering your groceries and having them delivered or even for pickup. Maybe if you have it in your budget, splurging for somebody to come and deep clean your house once a month or once every other month. Um, so, not trying to do it all yourself, not trying to do it perfectly. And then a big mindset shift that I really see, is, especially in my clients, is moving away from the all or nothing thinking. So,
Yeah.
a lot of times it's like, well, if I can't do a 30-minute workout or a 45-minute workout, I'm just going to skip the whole thing. Instead of that, it's like, what can we do? Can I do a 10-minute movement session? Great. Like, let's do that. Let's do what we can and let's keep moving in that kind of a consistent manner.
Yeah, a couple things. I loved everything you said, but the progress, not perfection. I say that all the time, and that is really important to remember. And then the all or nothing thinking that we just have to get away from that for sure, because our lives are so different now that we have to take care of little babies and we can't do it all. So we do have to just, not that we're lowering our expectations, but just sort of changing that mindset that this isn't what we can do. We can't do those big long workouts anymore. We can do these bite-sized workouts. So, and
Mhm.
it's okay. It's okay to do that.
And being, on the other side of motherhood with my kids in their teen years, like I can tell you it will not last forever. I mean, even as your kids get a little bit older, or in school and things like that, like you might find that you do get bigger pockets throughout the day. So I think that is something that I would tell the younger me is like this season of it being predominantly about you as mom isn't going to last forever, and that's a little bit sad. I mean, it's I'm
Mhm.
saying that to be an encouragement, but then having older kids, I'm like, gosh, savor it, soak it up,
Yep.
make those adjustments so that you really do get to have as much time with them as you can to build those bonds and those relationships, because I do see the fruits of that as well in this season. So find ways of incorporating your baby or your kids with your workouts and things like that as well, if it comes down to either that or having to skip. So, yeah, just enjoy
Yes,
this season because it will not
agree.
last forever, even though I
Agree.
swear it. I know it feels like it will, but it won't. So savor it and, make the adjustments for that short period of time, knowing that, as they get older, you will have a little bit more independence again.
Yeah, so good. Alicia, it was so great to have you on the show. It was wonderful to talk to you. But if anybody wants to listen to your show, can you tell us about your podcast and some other freebies and things that they can get through following you?
Yeah. So if you want to connect with me, I am pretty active on Instagram. You can find me at Alisha Carlson _. I do have my own podcast. It's called The Strong Her Way. And so this is really where we take a lot of the topics that we touched on here today and we go much deeper. The systems, the habits, the routines. But, at the heart of it, my desire and my heart is to help women feel good in their bodies, to feel good in their clothes, to feel more like themselves again. I think sometimes that is something that can get lost in motherhood. And so just wanting to really like help moms shine because they are such an anchor in their families. And I know that they're juggling a lot. And I know that we do better for those that we love when we feel better and we're taking care of ourselves. So that's the heart and the mission there. The Strong Her Way, it's available on all major platforms. That right now is kind of like my running freebie. So I give a ton of value there, a ton of value on my Instagram. And then, yeah, if you're needing some help with the meal planning and the meal prep, then I definitely want to encourage you to grab your copy of the Healthy Meals Happy Family System. We'll have the link to that in the show notes as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Alicia, for joining me. And we look forward to listening to your show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
What a great conversation Alicia and I had together. Well, good news. We are having another conversation together tomorrow where she interviews me and I am sharing that on this podcast. We did a swap and it's been such a great time just sharing each other's content with one another and informing the audiences that we have and just bringing them together to create healthy, fit, strong women. And I also had another episode on her show, the Strong Her Way podcast. So definitely go check out her episode on September 9th, 2024. It is the 3 secrets to a stronger, firmer core as a postpartum mom with guest Dr. Jena Bradley. Yes, that's me, and I am on her show back in September. So go check that episode out and continue to live core strong. Hey mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts? It would bring me so much joy. Simply scroll down to the stars and click write a review. Your review will help more women discover our podcast. Let's grow this fit mom movement together. And if you want your friends to come alongside you on this postpartum fitness journey, invite them to our free Facebook group where you can get motivated together. Community is key to success, and that's what I want for you. So join ours by going to the link in the show notes, and before you know it, the baby weight will be falling off as quickly as those stinky diapers. I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Fit Postpartum Mom Podcast.